Happy Resurrection Day. Happy Resurrection Day to everyone here. Thank you, God, for paying the ultimate sacrifice for us so that we can continue to have a chance, Lord God. Thank you. All right. So today I just wanted to come really quick. This is K-Sun with a video. And I keep hearing, he got up. Prepare ye the way of the Lord. Prepare ye the way of the Lord. So I just wanted to share an experience that I had, and this was just maybe like last month or something along that nature. I went to pray, and immediately when I closed my eyes, God took me to a place. And sometimes, first off, just let me say, sometimes when we have stories, sometimes it's hard for us to tell certain stories, because when God gives you certain things that we're not able to share. And certain things, some people just simply won't believe, but I am pushing past the feelings and the thoughts of other people and just doing what God is calling me to do. So forgive me if it's taken me some time to be able to get this out, but I'm gonna make it as quick as possible. I always say that. So I went going to pray. God took me to a place, and I'm sorry, where I was immediately, it's like, I don't, if you ever like had like an experience or been in a situation like when you open your eyes and like all of a sudden, like everything don't appear at one time, like bits and pieces just start appearing more and more, like you open your eyes and you start to focus. So this is the imagining that I'm trying to put out. So I get to this place, and when I get there, boom, it's like I was automatically stopped, and I wasn't allowed to fully enter where I was. And it's like at first both of my eyes were open, but it's like I could only see out of my left eye. And it's like, but both of my eyes were open, because I remember seeing, like trying to look around. So I remember that both of my eyes were open, but I was only able to really see like out of my left eye, partially out of my right eye, but like it was blocked. Okay, so let me get into the story. So I get to this place, and I'm looking, and as I'm looking, as my eyes are opening, it's like a long, like beautiful, not wood, like not, I can't describe the material, but it's like the ground is like kind of bronze like, and it was like so clean. And it's like the more and more my vision started to focus, it was like a long way up, there was a throne. The throne was the same color. Everything in the room was the same color. Like, I mean, this floor, it was no dust. There was no, like, nothing of normal of what we're used to seeing here. So I look a little further and I see there's light in the room, but there's no light fixture. There's no like light that we used to seeing down here. You gonna see something hanging up from the ceiling, and you gonna know that somebody got a light bulb. It was not that kind of light, but it was still light. I'm trying to describe it the best way that I can. So as I'm just, it's like I didn't know what was going on, but it's like my spirit man was already familiar like with what was going on. So needless to say, I'm so sorry. Needless to say, I'm still here in this place waiting, but everything around on the side of the room where I was, everything around me was completely black. Like it was nothing around me. But on the opposite side was where I could see the bronze floor, the throne, and everything stretched out before me. But I just couldn't, it's like it was a force. It wasn't a door, nothing that I could physically see that was stopping me from entering in this room, but I just could not get in. Like I at this point I couldn't get in. So and not shortly after, I saw, I don't even know what to call him, but like he was, I don't know, like a guardian. I don't know, but I'm just gonna keep going with the story. So he had like a long, he kind of will put you in the mind of a Viking. So I'm sorry, bear with me. I'm trying to put it together and remember everything at the same time, because he had like this hat on his head, like a hat for battle, and he had like a long, it wasn't a cape, but it wasn't a coat, because it's like he was prepared. Like whatever it was long, and it came all the way down to, on the back side of him, it came all the way down to probably like his calves, and the front part of it just kind of draped right over the top and kind of stopped like mid chest or like something like that, but it was big enough to cover his arms. Only thing I could see was that he had one arm out and the other arm was like twisted as if it was on his side, like I don't know, like a sword or something. That's the only thing I could think, or whatever he had that just I wasn't able to see what it was. So he's walking past me in the way that, and he was moving so animated. It's not like movements that we're normally used to seeing. So he kind of walked past me, and at first I thought to myself, I said, oh man, he must be, it's like I knew who, or like my spirit knew who he was, because I said, oh, he must not gonna let me in, or he must be mad. That's what I was thinking. And then all of a sudden, when I got done thinking those words, he turned around and he stood in place. And when he stood in place, he turned and looked at me with a smile on his face. He still had his hand tucked on the side, but with his left hand, he smiled at me and he signaled for me to come on in. So at this point, boom, I was able to go into the place, but I physically was still there. I never went there, but I saw my spirit man dot out of me, and I had all white on. And it's like, by the time, I couldn't really tell just from sitting on the opposite side, but when I got in, I noticed like, man, they were like giants. They were so tall, but yet so gentle. So so the guy that was standing there, the way he was positioned basically in front of, right, like almost directly in front of, I don't want to say, I call it a portal. I don't know. That's the best way to describe it. He was like directly in front of this portal where I was. But then when my spirit man jumped out, when he signaled for me to come on in, my spirit man immediately ran diagonally to the right. And ran to the right, and I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm grateful to say, but I just want to say it was God. And he hugged me. I hugged him. He hugged me back. And it's like he was giving me something. And all I could hear, I could see virtue and I could hear it. And it was just whipping like wind. I couldn't see what he was doing, but I could just like barely see his hands like going around me. But again, my eyes was open, but my vision was blocked from that specific area. So literally I could see just like a strip, just, that's it. That's all I could see. And After he got done, I don't know if it was before or after. Forgive me if I'm twisting it up, but I'm trying to remember. So I either hugged him before or after. Either way, he gave me something. I hugged him, then I ran right across the room to the guardian is what I'm gonna call him. Ran right across the room to the guardian and hugged him. He hugged me back, but the whole time, like, he was just smiling at me, like it was no how we used to security guards here giving us the grim look with the sunglasses on. It was not like that, but I knew he was about business because I could just tell, like, and I wasn't allowed to come in that room until he got in there and he got in place. So I hugged him, and after I hugged him, boop, 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 it's like I was moving swift. My spirit man was gone. It's like I just knew what to do. And after I got hugged him, I ran back into my body, boom, jumped back into myself, and then I don't know if I was done praying, but like this was just like an experience that I've had many experiences. I've seen many things. I've even seen angels, see angels, but I've never had an experience quite like this. So boom, after my spirit man gets back into my body, I was so excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this happened. And I'm like, he gave me something. God gave me something. He gave me something. I was so excited. Yeah, that's all I kept saying was, well, then what did he give me? I'm not 100% sure what he gave me, but I know I saw his virtue wrapping round about me, and while his hands were waving, I know what I partially saw. I couldn't see him, but I saw that virtue and I heard it. So I keep going. Every time anything happens, always analyze over and over and over again. And I don't know if it's a good thing or not. Maybe in certain times it's a good thing, but maybe certain times it's not. I don't know if it's considered to be overthinking, because I do know how to shut things off, but I analyze over and over and over again, just because it's always something that I know that eventually I'm going to pick up on. So at first, my focus was I picked up on he gave me something, and whatever he gave me, pew, I took off. Gone. Okay, so I'm analyzing, back to the story, and it finally hit me. Y'all, and I'm not saying it in this way, because definitely God, he's all power. All power comes from him. But it hit me. I said, he is off his throne. God literally revealed to me that he was off his throne, and where he was standing, it was really close to what I want to call, the best way I can describe it, the portal to get back to earth. Because it was the portal that took me there, but it was also the same portal that took me back to earth. And it hit me, and I began to weep, and I began to cry, and God said, what are you crying for? It's not a need for you to cry, because I started thinking, oh my God, oh my gosh, like I just, out of everything that could possibly happen, he was off his throne, and he was so close to that earth portal. I don't know if this means that's how close, because no man knows the day or the hour, but I keep hearing, prepare ye the way of the Lord. And he was so close to that portal. And it took me a minute to catch on to it, and I'm sorry. Y'all, I'm not trying to scare anybody, but I've been holding on to this for a while. And this morning, God said, tell them. And I have to, because we have to be prepared. I'm not giving no time. I'm not giving no day. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying that it was revealed to me that God is off his throne, and he was so close to that portal to come to earth. Like, I mean, he was so close that when my spirit man jumped out of me when I was signaled to come in, like, it took me less than 5 seconds to make it to him, even though I couldn't see him. But I knew it was him because the guardian, I was allowed to see. God, I was not allowed to see. So I just wanted to come on here and share, whatever affairs, whatever things that we have going on, people, it is time to prepare ye the way of the Lord. I keep hearing it. Prepare. So I'm not getting on here trying to tell no scary stories. This is something that literally happened, and I wasn't going to say anything until this morning when God literally said, tell them. He brought the vision of what happened. So I just have to be honest. It's time out for playing. It's time out for acting and doing things that we don't know. Because see, here's the thing. Even though we don't know when God is to return, and I'm just speaking in general, who knows? It could be a year from now. It could be 2 years from now, whatever the case may be. The thing is, we preach and God is only going to give us so much information. How do we know he's not looking at, even still, if God came, if you repented the night before, but just still, what if he's looking at so far back of a track record? Like, it's certain things that has not been revealed to us, but that is going to also take place, and also we're going to be held accountable for. We're just doing the basics to try to live right. So I just want to encourage those that don't know God. If you don't know him, get to know him. If you do know him, get closer to him. Don't let go. Don't be persuaded by things of this world. Don't be led astray by things that surround you. Get your grip and your anchor in the Lord. I don't care who believes. I don't care who does not believe. Prepare ye the way of the Lord. And that's all that I have for today. I just wanted to share that experience that I had. Let us all come together for the sake and for the name of the Lord. Jesus is the reason. Hope everybody has an amazing Sunday.